All right, everybody, welcome back to another dev stream. As always, thank you so much for being a Patreon and supporting the community. I am so excited for all the fun stuff that I've been working on as far as the game. It feels like I'm actually making progress, which is really cool. Tonight, we're going to be working on jumps. Specifically, our jump is broken in two different ways. One is we can no longer do a short tap and get a shorter jump. All of our jumps are the same height right now. So we got to figure that out. I know what's going on. So we're going to walk through trying to fix it. And then depending on time, we also want to do our jump down. And we may start with our jump down. I'll show you what I've done to fix it, update it, etc. And then we'll go into the other one. So with that, let's just get rolling. Also, I'm going to try to bring back a little hint of music again. If you guys absolutely hate it, just let me know. We'll see. All right, sweet. Here we go. Okay. Now, where we left off, let me double check that. Let me double check that we've got the channel set. Okay, we're good. Okay, so first things first. I made a bunch of changes to our jump down. Our jump down specifically is the thing that lets us, when we're on a platform, if we double tap, we can jump down. Now what I did was I removed it so that when you, hold on, let me get up here. When you're on a platform, it used to be that if you press the down key and press the space bar, it would jump down. But I shifted that. I've changed that to a double tap on the down key. The reason being, and I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this with the controller, but the reason being is I wanted to be able to do things like pop through a platform and hop back up, for example, right? And I can't do that if it's on the same key. At least it's not as intuitive. So now I can double tap and then hop to jump onto this platform, for example. Now, the interesting thing about the double tap is, let me bring up our code. That was done where we actually had to create our own input trigger. So we defined our own input action because there isn't one crazy enough. There's not a double tap built in. So basically I had to define our own input trigger. I had found one that I was using. It didn't work very well. And what I ended up doing was just working with one of the AIs. I went through and we kind of reworked this thing to make it work the way we wanted to. It's now responsive and awesome. But now what I want to be able to do is when I'm in the air, I want to be able to double tap to do basically a ground slam. So here's what I want to do. If we trigger jump down, if we're in the air, let's just try something simple here. This is our input action for jump down. This is all the stuff that triggers the pass through, etc. But what I want to do is, let's just try a quick one here and see if we can knock this out real quick. Let's get, not the player state, not the overlapping actors. Oh, this is the hero pawn. So we can get self and we can see if we're in the air here. In air. Nope. So let's get the movement component. Get the movement component. Get the movement component in air. Okay, maybe it's just falling. Falling. Is falling. Here we go. Is falling. So let's see if that's falling. Is falling. I don't know why this one's yellow, so we're gonna go with this one because the yellow one seems weird to me. So if that's true, what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit different, because that means we're not on a platform. Okay? It means we're above a platform, below a platform, something. And then what we'll do is let's just launch the character. And the easiest way to do that is, I believe, just take our character and launch it. So we'll get the paper character default, which in this case is a paper character. That's fine. And we'll just launch. So if we go back here, let's get self. Can we launch this? Launch. We can. Okay, so if we just launch this, let's just try something crazy. Let's go -1,000. And we're not going to override. We are going to override Z, I believe. And we'll keep our XY. Let's see if that works. Okay. So if I jump up, so either double tap isn't working or we're not hitting this. So let's just put in on our 2D hero pawn. Are we even hitting this? Also, make sure I'm not muted. Okay, we are hitting it, but it's not actually launching us. So either our value isn't enough. Oh, maybe it is. Let's try adding a 0. Just make it extreme. 10,000. Compile and save. Let's go. Just get some height. Let's get some height. Oh, actually that worked. Okay. All right, that might be a little bit fast. Now we do need to check to make sure we can still drop down. Yep. Now here's the cool thing. We might be able to do both. All right, if we go drop down, yep, we can do both. We can drop down and we can double tap to do a, we can do a double tap now. So if I go drop through, and then I can slam down. All right, but that's a little bit fast. So let's try half that and see what that feels like. And what we'll eventually do is compile and save. What we'll do is we will tie this to something like a ground attack or something. That's what I'm thinking. Where when we hit the ground, it does something cool. That's 5,000. Let's try half again. We're just looking for a good number here. 2,500. That feels good. And then we'll get into the jump fun because jump is going to be crazy. Doesn't feel too bad. I think it needs a little bit more oomph. So let's go back to, let's try 4,000. It's pretty aggressive. You know, there's another thing we could do. What we could do is not, okay, this is something to consider. So right now we have the idea of this jump down. And we also have the idea of a dash. But what we could do is make the dash 100% directional. So it's not just left or right. And then what we could do is when we're up here, if we could press down and quote dash. And then we wouldn't be using that at all. And we could then we could dash up as well. That might be, oh, that might be too strong though. I think that's going to feel really good off a double jump. So let's just go with that for now and we'll call that one done. All right. So now we have that ability. Let's save that. Now, let's get into jump. Jump is kind of crazy. It has multiple issues. One of them, so this is our jump gameplay ability. So what happens is, you know, normal input stuff, we're using gas for this so far. And then what we do is we trigger our gameplay ability, we activate the ability, we go through a bunch of stuff, and then depending on whether or not we have a wall grab or not, it will change what we do. So in this particular case, if we have a false wall grab and we don't already have a jump, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a stat tag, and then we'll do a wait for input release. This is where the meat of what we need to work on is, right? This is the main event right here. All right. And specifically what the problem is we have wait put in input release, but we launch our character already. And then when we're done, when we release, we're actually coming through here. It's interesting though that we're not triggering this breakpoint on all of our jumps, which is kind of wild. I would have expected that. But this is not quite right, because what we really want is we want the ability when I'm playing, I want to be able to do these quick hops, but I can't, right? Every jump is exactly the same height, but I wanted to be able to do a hop and a long jump, but they're all the same height right now. So to fix this, we can't fix this the way this is set up right now, because it's going to trigger the jump no matter what, and it's not going to be able to figure out how long you held down the key. So we need to be able to figure out how long we held down the key and then trigger the jump after the fact. But the interesting thing is I'm not seeing the release. So let's print string release and see if we see that. It's not releasing. So our ability is ending somewhere else. It's gotta be. So let's check our pawn. Jump down, cycle target. Because we're not waiting for the input test already released. We are clearly not hitting this. See if we're hitting this. Yep, we are absolutely hitting that. Hold on a second. Let's put a breakpoint here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try to debug this. So we hit this launch, then we press. It's not hitting that. Wait, what? Hold on a second. It's almost like our ability. We're ending the ability. Oh, something is super broken here. Jump activates the ability, launches the character, but doesn't end it. Where in the world is the end happening? So now if I press the space, then it ends it? Okay, something's broken. Because it's like maybe it's just a checkbox. Nope, that's not it either. Then we're activating. Okay, that's crazy. So something is broken about this wait input released, because we're not triggering this. Something, and the ability is not actually ending. So let's see what AI says about this, y'all. All right, so before we do that, we have a problem where the ability is not going through on release after the wait input release. So And then the jump, then the ability ends the next time you press jump. So why would it not trigger the wait input release? Let's just see what AI says about this. This wait input release. Oh, maybe because it's not connected to the ability system? Okay, let's put a breakpoint on every end ability and see if we're hitting one of these. Okay. Launch. Nope. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's ending the ability. Okay. Okay. Here are the most common reasons why wait input release fails. Input binding conflict blocking. This is probably the highest probability. Input system is tag based. When GA hero jump activates, it requires certain gameplay tags to be present to remain active. It's possible that while you're holding the jump button, another gameplay ability activates, or gameplay effect applies, removes tag, causing the required tags for IA jump to no longer be met. If the input binding becomes inactive while the key is still held, the wait input release task effectively loses its connection to the input system and will never fire on release. Go to your input mapping context. Yep. Okay. Note the input tag. We don't have an input tag. Pressed. Oh wait, is it simply because it's pressed? Hold on a second. Trigger fires when the input exceeds the actuation. No. Pressed. Trigger fires once only when input exceeds the actuation threshold. Holding the input would not cause further triggers. Okay. So the GA jump, if we go to class defaults, asset tags, ability triggers. My head is probably in the way on this. So over on the right, what I'm looking at here is input tag ability jump, gameplay event. But I jump. Hold on, man. I didn't know this was going to be this fun. Primary attack, left mouse button. Triggers from input action. primary attack. Just curious. Triggers. Pressed 0.5. I forgot where. Is it on the character? Where do those tags happen? Okay, let's try something. Let's do this. Let's do show debug game play. What's it called? Ability system. Play ability system. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so one more go. And you know what? We need to move our quest stuff. I can't read anything that's printing in the top left. So let's go to our UI. Input. UI. HUD. UI. Layout. Extension point. Quest. Let's move this down. Way down. Okay. I'll save that for right now. Did that crash? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. So now when we play, okay, now we can actually see what's printing. That's great. So show the gameplay abilities. Okay. Location. Freestyle desktop stat playing. I don't feel like that's debug showing anything. That's the cues. All right, hold on. We got to look up how to debug this with the gameplay ability system. Unreal Engine debug gameplay ability system. What's the console command is what I'm looking for. Console command. Oh, show debug ability system. Is that all? Show debug ability system. There we go. Okay, so that's our projectile cooldown. But I don't, oh, there we go. Owned tags to use gameplay debugger for enhanced functionality. Tip. Okay, so that's showing me my movement. That's not what I want. Okay, hold on a second. Let's go play again. And this time, let's just show the ability system. Okay, it shows all of that. Page down. Oh, this is different characters. Okay. Page up and page down to cycle between targets. Oh, this is for enemies. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, this is such a pain. Let's try just this one. Xeraphine AI controller. Shift apostrophe for the local player. And then 3 is abilities. Yeah, but where's the activation? Like, it doesn't show that it's triggering. Shift 2. Oh, okay, so Shift 2. Shift 1 is the tags. So these are the tags. But I don't see any tags going on in this at all. Okay, so let's call that a bust. And let's just go back to what we were trying to figure out. Somewhere in our ability system, we are putting the tag on this thing for ability type action jump. I jump. Let's see here. Primary attack. Nope. Let's do Xeraphine quest. Input configs. Mappings. Nope. It's been a while since I looked at this, you all. So basically what I'm looking for is there used to be a thing where there's a data asset somewhere where the character gets ability set for their hero data. Hold on, is that it? Hero data and input data. Okay, here we go. So that's the move. This is the jump. This is what I was looking for. Jump adds the ability tag. Cool. This is where the ability tag gets added. Great. So then we come in here and we go to GA jump, which is here. This triggers it on the tag. Okay. So one thing we could do is input action jump doesn't have consume. Consume lore should this action swallow any inputs bound to it or allow them to pass through. I wonder. Is that all it was after all of that? Hold on a second. What was that thing that printed? I'm not hitting any of these breakpoints? How's that even possible? Okay, I hit that one. Launches the character. Okay, we're clear. No, so that doesn't help. We're clearly launched the character. We already know this. But for some reason, we are just never, ever getting to this point. It doesn't end until the second time. Oh, it doesn't make sense. I didn't think this was going to be the thing that got in the way. Does the wire go through to a branch gate? Does the wire? No. Oh, got it. Okay, so let's see here. For some reason, I thought AI could see blueprints, but I guess not. The wait input release task relies on the same input action binding that activated the ability. While you're holding the jump button, something often changes the character's state and associated gameplay tag. If a tag change causes the input binding for IA jump to become inactive, according to the input mapping context rules, the wait input release task loses connection to the physical input release event. It's waiting for an input event that the system no longer routing to it. Here we go again. Use the gameplay to press and hold jump. Watch the active tags on your character. Interesting. I wonder if we just do this. Nope. So dumb. That shouldn't be it. This isn't it. Everything's off. For some reason, we need to figure out, oh God, we need to figure out why this is happening. And to do that, shift apostrophe. Wait, apostrophe. Get rid of these breakpoints. This isn't even what I wanted to work on tonight, y'all. Because it's not actually, like, it's not showing us the tags. This is a bogus debug method. Like okay. Oh, I'm starting to get pretty frustrated, y'all. Okay, so gameplay ability system. Debug isn't showing my tags properly. They're not updating. All right, Epic, what do you got for me? Okay, let's try that. Ability system. Ability system. Ability system dot debug ability tags All right, let's try one other thing. Let's try the gameplay debugger. Enable EDT. What are we currently debugging? Oh, that's the AI controller. Okay, I've never tried the vislog before. Let's try that. Vislog. Look at that. We got a vislogger. Start. Stop. Okay. See if we can figure out what this is. Player state. Control. Okay, how do we zoom in? I don't see any way to zoom in. Gameplay ability test started. Ability test wait input release. Prediction. Clear. Start. Okay, let's do a couple things. Let's get rid of our AIs. Let's make this easier. Number of enemies to spawn, so we're not debugging our enemies too. Get rid of that. Go again. Display. Let's bring up our vislog. Let's go stop. Start. One jump. And then one more jump. We'll stop. Okay, so that did create the log. Stop the debugger. Okay, so gameplay ability start, ability task, wait input release, activated, GA jump. So that's where we jumped. Then we V8 log ability system ending default GA jump prematurely to re-trigger. Ability test wait input release task owner ended called ended GA jump was canceled. What? Interesting. Gameplay ability test started, ability test we put in. Which one of these happens first? Okay, so this is the order, I think. So, okay. All right. Log gameplay tasks, gameplay ability task started, ability task wait input release 458. Then we've got vlog ability system activated 510 GA jump C0 level 1 prediction key, then nothing, then press jump again, ending default GA jump C prematurely to retrigger, retrigger, and then ability task wait input release 458, and then ended GA jump C 0, and then gameplay ability task started ability task wait input release 459 now, and then activated GA jump C0. Okay, so this was the best way to do this. If nothing at all tonight, we got access to that. So this confirms what we're expecting. The jump ability activates successfully. The ability to wait for input tasks starts correctly, but the task never completes naturally. This pattern strongly points to input binding invalidation problem or incorrect execution order. Possibility 1, incorrect execution order. In your GA jump blueprint, what node comes immediately after event activate ability? Wait. Is it wait? No. No. Hold on a second. Technically speaking, the correct flow should be activate the ability, your jump logic, launch the character, wait input release, and end the ability. Oh, they're saying that invalidates the input binding when we launch the character here. So we need to do it here and then go to here. Wait a minute. Don't we have print strings though? We do. And we have a breakpoint. We're still not hitting it. Let's try something else. Let's try skipping all of this and just going straight into launch character. I don't know what else that's going to break. That worked. What? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh wait, but we didn't. No, it didn't work. It did not work. Because now our ability, well. Access, I'm trying to read paper character default. Okay, so that's why that doesn't work. we do need at least paper character default. Otherwise, that's not going to work. So if we get our paper character default and we skip all of this stuff and we go straight to launch character. All right, y'all. I know that I probably said we were going to do jump, but I'm actually rewinding. We spent the next 45 minutes plus trying to figure out what was going on with jump. Turns out we have like just a fundamental core issue in our gameplay ability system where abilities aren't ending. So I can't even show you what I wanted to do with the jump. So we're just going to go with the win of getting our downward attack or downward air attack, whatever you want to call it, our downward dash done. I'm going to pack this up as a video. I'm going to go figure out what the heck is going on with our gameplay ability system, that abilities are not ending properly. Then I will come back and we will do another stream on what I wanted to show you all for jump. So as always, thanks for checking out the video. Catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy.